I'm stood on a site where people have been playing bowls for over 400 years and lays claim to be the oldest bowling green in England. Find out which county it's in just a moment. Let's see how we go. This show we're helping two sisters who have high hopes of a joint house venture together, unless sibling rivalry gets the better of them. You happy to coexist together, are you?
No. Let's have a... Sadly, I think you're out of touch with reality.
Today I'm in Gloucestershire, the historic bowling green in Painswick, where people have been playing bowls since 1554. Now, the sport was popular all the way back in Tudor times, when gentlemen would relax with a game of bowls after a hard day's hunting in the Cotswold countryside. Now, this club's records date all the way back to 1905, and the game remains a permanent and very pleasant fixture in village life today. Sitting against the Welsh border, Gloucestershire also shares boundaries with the English counties of Herefordshire, Oxfordshire and Wiltshire. Scratch Gloucestershire and find Rome is an old adage often associated with the county, as its gently rolling arable land has been known since Roman times for its farming and forestry. And under Roman rule, the market town of Cirencester in the east of the county was the second largest settlement after London. Today, the vibrant marketplace exhibits excellent examples of Georgian and Victorian architecture, which have cemented the town as the capital of the Cotswolds. Countryside accounts for some 90% of Gloucestershire's landscape, into which sit perfectly preserved limestone villages. One picture postcard example must be Bybury, set on the banks of the River Colne and heralded by the radical Victorian designer William Morris as the most beautiful village in England. Now, when it comes to researching the property market here in Gloucestershire, you have to unpick the stats a bit. Yes, the average price for a detached house in the county is around £290,000, some £40,000 above the national figure. But if you peel away the premium for living here in the Cotswolds, which can be up to 50% in some places, the picture does get much more affordable around the market towns such as Dursley and Witherington. So let's find out why today's buyers want to move here. We've been called on to help two sisters who have led very different lives, have very different tastes, and who haven't lived with one another since they were teenagers.
You were the bossy one.
No.
And I had to do as I was told.
No, not at all.
Lucky we grew out of all of that.
But we fought right the way up through our teens, pulling our hair out, your hair out, my hair out.
I have a happier memory of an older sister who was my friend. I had nothing against you. I can't think why I was pulling your hair out.
Well, that was when we were younger.
You must have been very trying.
Mm.
Now, a few decades later, Christina and Joanna both find themselves living alone and so have turned to one another for support.
I've reached a sort of point where a lot of things have reached a nice ending, and unexpected endings with death of my husband and other things, and it's therefore the right time for a new beginning. And I think a move will be a really good way of creating a new space.
I'm also a widow. My husband died about 3 years ago. I've got children, which sadly Christina doesn't have, and so we want to, but she's very fond of them, thank goodness, and they love her to bits. So we want to be reasonably near to them, but not on top of them.
The older of the two by 3 years, Joanna until recently worked as a management accountant, whereas Christina is a highly successful travel writer and has spent most of her life exploring the globe. In fact, both sisters were born in Africa, where they spent their early childhood.
With our mother, she always said to me, it's all right to be different. Don't feel you have to be like other people. It's okay to be different. That was an extraordinarily freeing thing. And I realised that it wasn't important to be like everyone else. You can follow your ideas. And I think that had a huge impact on my life.
So with that philosophy in mind, they decided to take an unconventional step to partner up onto the property ladder, but with strings attached.
We don't want to live together. We want to live sort of next door, well, sort of in the same building and next door to each other, because we're both hugely independent people. I've got 3 grandchildren, so you've got 3 great nieces. We want to be able to have them to stay as they grow up.
But have the space so they're not on top of me the whole time.
So it probably means 2 kitchens. I'll feed the grandchildren and she'll come and visit.
For now, Joanna lives in a rental property, and Christina wants to keep her current home in London's Shepherd's Bush as a base, from where she runs her charity to help the people of Madagascar. But it's not big enough or rural enough for their joint future.
In London, you've got to be going somewhere, doing something, and you can never just be quietly. Or if you are being quietly, you feel that the world is whizzing past and leaving you behind.
Here you've got no garden, and I would be stifled. And I love growing things, and a window box is not big enough.
The sisters have recently come into some inheritance and have a rough idea of the figure they're willing to spend for this new sibling adventure.
The budget for the move will be £550,000 to £650,000.
Gloucestershire is the chosen destination, as Joanna's daughter and grandchildren live in Wootton-under-Edge. So we'll be concentrating our house search to the western side of the county, which also has good road links back to London for Christina. Time for us to meet up in a sunny Gloucestershire spot to get better acquainted and find out more about this sisterly move. Ladies, good morning.
Good morning.
Look at this. You brought the weather with you.
We did.
Now, you're buying a house together. Is this not filling you with a bit of trepidation?
I think it might be fun, actually, because we've got the same set of things behind our skills, but we've made different stuff of it. So I think we will have a lot of laughs and a lot of interest.
OK. Well, you both seem to get on very, very well. Now, how's that going to marry with the house buying process? I mean, you must have different opinions and differences in tastes.
Well, we haven't really been house hunting, so this is a first. We have yet to
develop any opinions.
Exactly.
Right. How many bedrooms are we looking at?
5, 6.
Are you planning on running a hotel as well, are you?
No. I don't know, that's the whole idea, is that any rooms for guests we can share between us. So that, you know, but we do need sort of 2 or 3...
It's going to be a fun house, lots of guests staying all the time. It's going to be a very active house.
Yes,
it is. That's the whole point of it, though,
Yeah.
because left to myself, I'd turn into a complete recluse and never see anybody ever again.
And I love socialising,
Do you?
and I love catering, and I love people around.
We're after a lot of property here, a lot of real estate. So, let's talk about the budget. Because I understand that's moved a little. What have you finally settled on?
I think we settled on 550 to
No.
650, or have we gone up
We
from
went
there?
up from
Where
there.
did we go up to?
750.
Did we? Very
I
good.
think so, yes.
OK, nothing venture, nothing gain.
So, this is exciting. I mean, you've got 2 very different influences coming together to buy a house. You've got no idea what the property market's like here, but you also have nothing to sell. So if we find you something, you can move straight away.
Yes.
Right, let's go, come on.
So, for a revised and rather healthy budget of £750,000, our 2 sisters are pooling resources and looking for a spacious and characterful home that has the potential to suit both their tastes and needs. And the basics are at least 5 bedrooms, 2 kitchens, 2 reception rooms and a decent-sized garden, all in a location near to shops and amenities. We've a fantastic range of properties, both traditional and unusual, which I hope will meet Christina and Joanna's very specific, yet largely loose requirements. But before I reveal the prices, I'll be asking our buyers to have a guess first. And we'll be swinging by something really out of the ordinary with the Mystery House. Time to hit the road and head for our first property.
Have you discussed much about what you're looking for as a team?
Not really. I mean, I tend to have lived in more conventional English houses. Christina has had the opportunity of having some new builds, but you know, in sort of London flats. So, you know, it's completely different. I've actually only lived in rented.
Right. So is this the first house you'll ever buy?
Absolutely.
She's a first-time buyer.
I am a first-time buyer.
Well, that's brilliant. You must be very excited about this.
I
then.
am, and I'm wondering what grants are available to first-time buyers.
We're starting our property search around 45 miles north of Wootton-under-Edge in a hamlet called The Lie. And a couple of miles from a shop and pub, our first property is situated down a narrow lane, surrounded by fields and enveloped by Gloucestershire countryside.
In we come, ladies. Now then, property number 1 is this little number.
It's a lovely house.
It is, isn't it? It was built around 1820. Now, style-wise, it's had a lot done to it. Inside, you'll see a lot more of that. But what do you think of how it looks from out here?
It's got character.
Yeah?
The garden looks absolutely lovely.
I thought you might like that. But we'll discuss that later. Let's go inside and see what you make of that, shall we?
Love to.
A very handsome detached country home, this early 19th century property offers a versatile and unusual layout that I hope will suit both ladies. And we're starting in the main kitchen diner.
There's 2 entrances to this property, and I thought this was the better one to get us straight in. It's one of my favourite rooms.
It's lovely. Lovely kitchen.
A lot of this was derelict. What you see is the fruits and labour of the current owners. You reckoned you wanted 2 kitchens, OK? This is the really nice big one, so bear this one in mind when we see the next one.
OK.
All right.
On the face of it, this property appears to be one large family home. But what lies beyond the facade is a house that has already been split into 2 independent zones that separates the back of the property from the front. The large kitchen diner lies in the original part of the house to one side of the hallway, with a sitting room and conservatory to the other. Then at the rear, the current owners have used bricks and slates from a derelict barn to build a completely self-contained 2-storey wing. We're heading for the dining area, which can also be accessed from the original hallway.
Let me explain to you what we have here, and then we can decide whether you like it or not. You have a double bedroom, an ensuite shower room. You also have that bookcase-looking door, if you like. Up there is another reception room or a double bedroom. You've also got this room, as we see, and through there you've got a small kitchen and a downstairs loo. Now, living areas, you happy to coexist together, are you?
No. Let's have a...
Let's have a look at it.
Kind of.
Let's have a look, is what I was going to say.
No and yes, I think I got from that, but let's have a look. Come on.
Which way?
Up here.
With a hint of conflict brewing over boundary lines, we've thankfully got a bit of border control with a range of reception areas, one of which is upstairs.
So up here on the first floor, quite unusual to have a first-floor living room. So what do you think?
I've not seen an upstairs living room for a long time. It's cosy.
Yeah. Maybe one person gets this room and the other person gets a smaller reception room on the ground floor leading into a conservatory.
Exactly.
OK.
I want the conservatory.
We're putting
I got in first on that
You
one.
did, well, that means you get this room.
Pretty jolly quick, so therefore I will look and then choose what before I say I want, I'll look at everything.
OK, fine. Well, look, maybe it's one of these things. We need to get through this house as quick as possible
I could
so
turn
you can
this
make
into
your
an
mind up.
office, for example.
Are
I
you
could spread
joking?
my papers everywhere. Could I see out the window if I was sitting down at my desk,
go on.
for example? Now, if I'm sitting, supposing I'm here, oh, I can see out the windows. They're quite nice because the ceilings are a bit low, but the windows are quite low set.
Yeah.
So that you can see out.
That's good, right? OK, let's look at a bedroom, shall we? Yeah?
Bedrooms, yes.
OK,
Yes.
just through here. Come
Lead on.
So, just across the hall from that big reception room is, well, I think this is your master bedroom. It's got a lovely ensuite next door as well. And also a fantastic family bathroom just the other side of that wall there with a separate shower and beautiful views from the bath over the surrounding fields. You've also got upstairs 2 double bedrooms.
And is there a bathroom upstairs as well?
There is a bathroom servicing those 2 bedrooms, yeah.
Brilliant.
I know you want to see the whole lot, but what sort of feeling are you getting so far from what you're seeing?
One of your dreams was to lie in bed and look out the window. Now, you could certainly do that.
OK, I'll go for it.
Let's walk outside, because that's somewhere you're prepared to share, isn't it?
Yes.
We won't fall out outside, will we?
Never.
No.
Good, follow me.
Despite what I see as a fairly straightforward division of rooms, I'm struggling to figure out whether or not Christina and Joanna can see this house working for them. Outside, there's plenty of room to escape one another, with almost an acre to play with, including mature gardens, an orchard, and if sibling cohabitation gets too much, the property also features its very own little pub.
OK, so we've had a whistle-stop tour around the house. Time for you ladies to have a go at guessing the price.
500,000.
OK.
Nah, sadly, I think you're out of touch with reality. I think it's going to be more like 700.
Good grief.
Better guess, it's actually on the market for offers around £750,000.
Oh, I was a bit low, wasn't I?
Very much so. Well, this has been a learning curve for all of us, I think. You know, I've started to find out what's important to you and who to please. Well, I've not learned who to please yet. I've still got no idea.
Me?
Yeah. Well,
He's the difficult one.
Yeah.
I'm the easy one.
I think I've got both opinions there. Why don't you go back into the house, have a look at what you haven't yet seen, OK, and I'll meet you whenever you've done, all right?
OK.
Off you go.
Bye.
Two things here. I'm finding out a lot more about what the ladies are after, and they certainly want a lot more space. The other thing is, I think we're going to have a lot of fun over the next couple of days, aren't we?
Hitting the top end of the budget on the market for £750,000, our first property is a detached 19th century home that has the flexibility to provide two completely separate self-contained dwellings. All in all, the house boasts 5 reception rooms, 4 bedrooms, a large kitchen diner alongside a smaller kitchen and just under an acre of land surrounded by beautiful Gloucestershire scenery.
When we arrived, I thought the facade was fabulous. It's a warm, welcoming, genuine-looking place. But I'm a little disappointed in the house itself. Inside, to me, doesn't match the outside impression.
Head down. There's another room over here.
I'm following.
There's 2 staircases, 2 front doors. There are 2 kitchens. But in a way, it still isn't quite lending itself to independent people who want to be able to share.
You've actually managed to get an awful lot of what we wanted, and I'm surprised by that. But I don't think it's going to be the right one, sadly. So this is almost a granny annex, but we are the granny.
We haven't got a granny. Oh, we are granny. I'm not a granny.
We are the granny.
I am not a granny.
You're a great aunt.
Ah.
Right then, all done?
All done.
No fallings out?
Not yet.
Not yet. Let's keep it that way. On to the next one.
OK.
Both Christina and Joanna aren't that familiar with Gloucestershire, and one of the driving forces behind their move is to get connected with the countryside here. And with at least 60 nature reserves throughout the county under its wing, there are no shortages of green places to explore, such as the Stuart Forks site near Nailsworth, which is under the care of the Gloucestershire Wildlife Trust. We arranged for them to visit this nature reserve to learn about the ecology and conservation of these protected sites with volunteer Ellen Winter.
Ellen, what's special about this part of the reserve?
It's unimproved limestone grassland. It supports a load of really rare species. Any time permanent pasture is ploughed up or fertilised with artificial fertiliser or reseeded, then it's lost forever.
Is there anything in particular here?
Yes, there's a species called meadow clary.
Are they rare?
Yes, they're extremely rare. This is the only site in Gloucestershire where you can see meadow clary. There's only 20 other sites in the country.
The site covers 3 fields, and rare specimens that flourish here, like the protected meadow clary plant, have helped identify the reserve as a site of special scientific interest. And to ensure that the plant continues to thrive in the future, the Trust have adopted an approach that uses grazing livestock to stimulate its growth.
Meadow clary doesn't reproduce so well through making seed. It reproduces much better through making runners that run under the soil. So what the cattle now do is they are allowed in during the summer, they eat the plant off and prevent it flowering, so it puts much more energy into producing these runners.
In the past, the antibacterial properties of this tall, vibrant and striking plant have been used as a medicine to alleviate sore throats or clean teeth, and even to flavour beers and wines. With a lifespan of about 30 years, the meadow clary at Stuart Forks is surveyed yearly to monitor its progress.
Right, so now we need to get our noses in the grass. The first thing to do is identify roughly where we've got plants within the quadrat. So we can see from the flower spikes that there's a plant here. You need to get down and look at the basal rosettes and see how many plants make up a basal rosette.
So how are they doing this summer?
Well, they're doing pretty well at the moment. It's a slow process because they're a very long-lived plant and they only reproduce slowly. And we think that the change in management from the research is working.
Now that our sisters have witnessed some of Gloucestershire's wild, natural and rare beauty, we need to get back to the house hunt so they too can set down their roots in this county. For our second property, we're travelling further south, closer to Joanna's daughter, and headed for the Cotswold village of Selsey West. A pub and convenience store can be found just over a mile away in King Stanley. But back in Selsey West lies property number 2, which is in an elevated position and boasts absolutely glorious far-reaching views.
Now then, as you can see, there is more to this house than this initial facade, which suggests it's a bungalow. It's a modern house. It's built around 30 years ago, but it's got this Cotswold stone facing brick, if you like.
Could it be the tip of the iceberg?
Funny, you took the words right out of my mouth. That's exactly what it is. This house, this is the very top of the house, and it then just grows down into the hillside, and it's enveloped by a massive 280-degree vista. It's fantastic views everywhere you go.
Really?
Yeah, you're going to love the views.
Really good.
So, any thoughts?
Let's go.
Intriguing.
Good. Let's start. Come on.
Built in 1980, this one-off property was designed to take full advantage of the setting, with the majority of the living accommodation wrapped around a large hallway up on the first floor, which is where we're commencing our tour.
So, let's start off with kitchen number 1.
Oh, my goodness.
Who likes it?
Fine. Compact, keeps clean.
Yeah.
Perfect.
OK. Well, this is a real whistle-stop tour because what I've learned is that I've tried to second-guess what you'd use the rooms for and I keep getting it wrong. So here's one. Follow me to the next one.
This is a kitchen.
Yes. So, kitchen number 2.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Good grief.
Goodness me.
You can't have all the kitchens, you know.
You can only have one each, I'm afraid.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. No doubt she's going to dither and
Yeah.
say she wants them all.
And it opens up into a really nice dining room leading onto a conservatory with yet more fabulous views.
Goodness, it's very light and airy. And I like the ceilings.
Rustic.
Yeah. Keep it that way?
I like rustic. Yes.
Good. So linking that reception room with this is that beautiful conservatory with the views.
Goodness.
That's interesting the way they've used the same sort of ceiling technique, but lovely with the rise in it.
And there's a balcony.
Now let me try and get this configuration for you ladies. You've obviously seen the kitchen going into the conservatory.
Yes.
Now if you look through that door, that's where we came in.
Yes.
Next door to this room, that could be another reception room, could be a bedroom. Next door to that is a bedroom as well.
God.
It's just all starting to make sense.
It's quirky enough to be intriguing.
Good.
I want to see more.
Well, let's see more. Downstairs now, OK?
Okay.
Follow me.
Back in the central hallway, the staircase takes us down to the ground floor and through another large hall kitted out with a small sofa and then into the largest bedroom. So here we are on what I'd call the lower ground floor. Now, double bedroom, obviously.
Yes.
Now what you've got here on this floor is a double bedroom with ensuite at the far end. You've got a small single next door, and then you've got a family bathroom as well. Now, you've also got an unconverted garage, and I can't believe I'm saying this out loud, a utility that, if you really wanted, could be a third kitchen. I say that in jest, but one thing is you could actually have one complete living area on this floor, one complete living area on the top floor. You could really have independent lives on top of each other here.
Yes. No,
And you'd still both get views. You know what, let's go out.
It goes out onto a terrace, does it?
Do you want to go through those doors or where we just came?
These doors.
Come on then.
We agreed.
Agreed.
So come right through.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Now the house. Knock on the front door. You wouldn't expect to see this, would you?
No, that's quite a surprise.
It looks enormous from here.
Let me explain what we've got here. We're in a just over 3/4 of an acre plot size. Lots of gardens,
Lots of
views.
Yes.
How much do you think this house is on the market for?
Well, I was so glaringly out last time with my house valuation. I'm just going to say the same as what you came in last time and see if I score any better. 750.
I love your reasoning.
At least I've got a reason.
Yeah. Joanna.
Pluck a number from the air.
I am going down this time. I'm going to 650. So I could be completely wrong. But it's about time I was wrong.
Well, enjoy being wrong then. This is on the market for offers around £800,000.
Goodness.
Well, it's the last thing we're looking at today, so you've got enough time, hopefully, to rip it all to bits. A sensible offer could bring this second option closer to the ladies' budget and will provide them with a more recent two-storey upside-down build, giving the sisters one floor apiece. But as a whole, the property lends itself to 3 reception rooms, 5 bedrooms and even 2 kitchens. Then outside, the garden features a pool and backs onto open countryside. But let's not forget the aspect, for it has the most impressive panoramic view.
I found house number 2 intriguing, fascinating, and it's quirky, it's amusing, it's thought-provoking, and completely different to house number 1. It's not that cold.
It's not that hot either, though. In a curious way, this house has a lot of the things that I felt were missing from the last house. The view that goes beyond. You know, look at that. It does go beyond. That is gorgeous. It's a bit of a confusing house, really. I'm sort of trying to count, you know, can I count bedrooms on one hand, kitchens on another? You count bathrooms.
Right then, all done inside and out?
Finished.
Good. Did you enjoy today?
Very much, thank you.
Good, I did as well. Time to go back, let's go. It's the second day of our property search and we're in Gloucestershire on a tricky expedition helping London-based Christina and her big sister Joanna to find somewhere to live independently but under the same roof. Still to come, we're tapping into our inner child at the Mystery House.
Whoever built this place has a huge sense of humour.
And it's full steam ahead for a once derelict passage of Gloucestershire heritage. You know, after all the ups and downs of yesterday, I'm starting to wonder whether we shouldn't just be showing Christina and Joanna 2 separate homes fairly close to each other. And today's Mystery House, well, it kind of buys into that ethos. And we've lined up the most eccentric one we could find, which I trust should better suit the personalities of our 2 wonderful ladies. And to get to our third and final property stop, we're taking our buyers to the small village of Sizedon, our most southerly destination. A couple of miles from shops and facilities at Puckle Church, the Mystery House in Sizedon is within a cluster of old farm buildings, with a pedigree that dates back some 400 years. We are looking at a barn conversion, but probably like no other you've seen before. What do you think?
That's different.
Do you know, for a barn conversion, it's got really nice big windows.
That's surprising, yes, yes.
Now, the owners have been here 17 years, and they converted it themselves.
Right.
And it's quirky.
Ah, now you're talking.
Let's go and have a look.
In terms of internal square footage, the sprawling mystery house is the biggest of our 3 properties, covering nearly 3,200 square feet. And we're heading for the newer half from the 1800s.
This is a fantastic part of the house, I think.
Goodness. Brilliant.
Now, this is the wagon entrance, and obviously the listing stated that you had to retain something that looked similar to how it would have looked before, so hence these nice glass, openings, if you like. But what it gives you now, this is where I want you to start thinking about how it works for you, ladies, is a living room, another living room, a winter living room with a lovely solid fuel burner there.
Right.
So you've got 2 living room options
Living
here.
areas.
But also start thinking about that now, we're now one end of the house. So this could potentially be just one of yours parts of the home.
Right.
Okay.
Okay? That end, we've got a bedroom, a smaller bedroom, okay? Little attic space, probably just for storage for you ladies. But let's go into the master, shall we? Just up these stairs.
Goodness.
So this is the master bedroom. You have an ensuite bathroom next door.
Lovely. Looking straight out the window, Christina.
That's a good way to be looking.
Feng shui good.
Oh, is it? Right,
It's
okay.
quite extraordinary to have your window at ground floor level.
Yeah, but
lovely.
lying in bed.
Lovely. Yes, yes.
You've got one person's living area, just this end, if you so desire. Good?
Very good.
Good. What's through there? Can I shout orders, ask for coffee?
You're closer to the truth than you think. It connects you, if you like, to the other end of the building.
And to get to the other end, we've got to go back down onto the ground floor. The 2-storey area we've just seen all lies to the right-hand side of the property and joined to the left-hand portion by a large and lofty single-storey kitchen breakfast room. Then beyond the kitchen is another 2-storey part, housing a snug alongside a ground floor bedroom. But I'm keen to show Christina in particular even more in what could be her very own studio. So we're making our way across the property from right to left, through the fantastic rustic kitchen with vaulted ceiling and into the far side of the barn.
Now then, little Sharon and Lou. Now let me just explain the configuration here, because it's quite confusing. We've just walked back through the kitchen, obviously, through that living room. There was also another room being used as a double bedroom on the ground floor there. Then above, where we've just walked through, you've got bedroom, and a bathroom. Then, here, you're into this. Now, this could be a living room, it could be a bedroom, it could be anything. I'm now not going to tell you what this could be used for, because you've got your own ideas, haven't you?
This is hugely multifunctional.
Yeah.
I like enormously the kitchen. No, it could be used in all kinds of different ways. Yes.
If I can make a suggestion, for someone that is still considering travelling away a lot and doesn't do a lot of cooking,
Yes.
is this not your perfect kitchenette and living area?
You could be right, yes, yes. I don't intend to do a huge amount of cooking, and you do. No, that's fine for a kitchen for me.
I've just sussed it. Means I get the big kitchen.
Hallelujah.
It may
thank
look
you.
that way.
What I think we should do now is, let's get into the garden to give you an idea of where all the buildings are. There's also a project area, which I think you would like, and something else that this building has up its sleeve. And we'll talk price. Which isn't going to be easy, ladies.
Right.
Follow me. So, well, what have we got here? We've got unconverted continuation of that barn. You've got a workshop here, Christina. Full power. I thought that would be an amazing external office.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Now, to the other side of that building, you've got a kitchen garden, raised beds, the lot, And you've got a small area there as well, a bit of garden area there.
Manageable.
Yeah.
It's an unbelievable house.
It's an extraordinary house. I mean, you've really excelled the quirky and the character.
It's a mystery house, isn't
Everywhere
it?
you turn, there's more character.
Yeah. Now's the time to try and put a price on it. How much do you think this house, in all of its glory, is on the market for?
I think it's got to be at least 900.
OK.
Now, my theory was that whatever you said last time should be the price this time, because it's sort of gone up. Now, last time you were at 800.
Yeah.
I guess I have to go for 850.
OK. Well, this house is on the market for offers in the region of £795,000.
Goodness.
It's ridiculous.
Enjoy it, because it's there to be loved, isn't it?
Thank you.
Right, we're off.
Go on, off you pop.
Thank you.
Over budget, but surprisingly closer than the ladies thought, with a guide price of £795,000, the mystery property presents an outstanding detached centuries-old barn. Features include up to 6 bedrooms, the possibility of 5 receptions, a huge kitchen breakfast room, as well as a range of outbuildings, some modernised and some ripe for remodelling.
The mystery house delivered the mystery, bags of character, thoroughly unexpected, beautifully done, all sorts of exciting kind of twists around each corner.
Whoever built this place has a huge sense of humour.
I'm sure we can find any number of beams for us to hang a swinging seat on for you.
I did say I wanted a trapeze in any house we moved to. It was the kind of house that our parents would have adored and would have bought, and we were brought up in a similar quirky, quaint conversion. So we feel very at home in this kind of place. It is certainly not to be dismissed. No, it definitely needs thought.
Well then, much discussions to be had?
Plenty.
Good. Well, it's quite thought-provoking, this place, wasn't it?
Yes.
Let's go and find somewhere you can have that think and a discussion and find out what you're going to do later on. Let's go. Christina and Joanna are returning to Gloucestershire to give them a breath of fresh air away from the city. And 100 years ago, vacationing Edwardians were doing the very same thing, travelling out to the county from Birmingham along the Gloucestershire-Warwickshire Railway. And part of this line is still running today, thanks to a small group of enthusiasts who 30 years ago clubbed together to buy around 15 miles of derelict trackbed and set about restoring the line back to its former glory. I've come to Toddington Platform to meet Commercial Director Colin Fuel to find out more about this remarkable restoration, which has been completed entirely by unpaid volunteers. What a spectacle. This is stepping back in time, isn't it?
It's a lovely sight.
Isn't it? Why was this line built in the first place?
Well, it was built by Great Western Railway in the very early 1900s. It was one of the last main lines ever built in this country. It was built because Great Western Railway saw an opportunity to make money out of the newly industrialised Midlands. There were more and more people earning more money, and this was an opportunity for them to get down to perhaps the West Country for holidays.
So how long was this line in use then, Colin?
From about 1906 through till 1960, it carried passenger transport plus fruit and vegetable and other freight. Then in 1960, they stopped running passenger trains on a regular basis, which was really the start of its downfall, I suppose.
Over 700 volunteers were involved in day-to-day operations, responsible for the restored track, as well as buildings, platforms, steam and diesel locomotives, and the all-important signal box. Now called the Gloucestershire-Warwickshire Steam Railway, a passenger service runs between Laverton and Cheltenham Racecourse. I'm hitching a ride on board an engine that's 180 years old, with John Craxon and John Pedley at the helm.
So I'm the driver, he's the fireman.
Yeah.
So I'm technically the man that's in charge.
OK.
But it's teamwork.
Right. So what's John doing here now?
The signalman's going to give him the staff, or the token.
So what's his token for?
That is our permission to go down the line, and nobody else can go down it, because we got the staff.
So it's a physical safety measure?
Goodness me! I can feel the heat coming out of there. He earns his lunch, doesn't he?
He does earn his lunch.
What an amazing way to see the Cotswold countryside.
This line gives us some most beautiful views on a day like today.
I've got to ask, any chance?
Yeah, I would think so.
Can I?
Yeah.
I'm driving the train now.
Yeah.
I've got to say, you made a nearly 40-year-old man feel like he's 10 again. Thank you so much.
That's all right, you're welcome.
Today I've realised the boyhood dream, and I know that sounds cliched, but driving a train in this beautiful Cotswold countryside, it doesn't really get much better than this. Thank you both very much.
You're very welcome.
With some 10 miles of track already up and running, the ultimate aim is to reach all the way to London. But for now, we have two ladies who are after a one-way ticket out of the city. So let's find out how their journey will end.
Well, I'm pretty sure the Mystery House is a favourite with the ladies, as it satisfied so much on their, let's face it, fairly unique shopping list. But has it done enough to warrant a second viewing? Let's catch up with them and find out. So what do you think of Gloucestershire then? You don't know the area very well, do you? What do you think of the place?
Intriguing. And I'm kind of curious to learn, to see more of it, because it's pretty.
Yeah.
Nice rolling hills. I like it.
Great. So, what's your favourite property?
Of the three,
Yep.
oh, the third one.
Yeah, I thought the Mystery House would be the favourite. Would you consider coming back to the Mystery House?
Probably not.
Right, okay.
We came up with the idea that it wouldn't be fair for one of us to have all the bigger rooms.
No.
That's true.
As we've talked about, I'm a first-time buyer. So these are the first houses I have ever looked at to buy. And I have found the last couple of days hugely helpful. And I think that what we've been doing with you will help us enormously in our search.
How about you, Christina? You've bought property before.
Yeah, but I bought the first thing I saw.
I wish you'd done that this time.
Do you want us to let you know we find something?
I would love you to let me know. It's been a riot, and I feel like I've aged, but I've enjoyed it. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Well, I always knew it was going to be an uphill struggle, bearing in mind the fairly unique set of criteria I was given by Christina and Joanna. But I must say, after looking around 3 properties with them, I'm not sure we're any closer, are we? Well, they're on their own now, and I do hope they heed my advice on focusing on a few key points, must and mustn't haves. And then maybe, hopefully not in the too distant future, they could be making their move here together to Gloucestershire. See you next time.